Okay, welcome back to Brummy Wonders. This is a bit of a different one. I just wanted to show you where technology has gone when it comes to commercial vans. Quite crazy. I wasn't expecting them to go this way like most other vehicles, as far as the iPad in the middle, the very Tesla-like designs, and the lack of everything, lack of buttons, lack of clicks, lack of knobs, just even the lack of a stalk here for the wipers and stuff. That's all on one now. It's very bizarre. It's the opposite to the Morris Minor, whereas that just has indicators on the right hand side and nothing else. This has everything on the left hand side, and it's just, it doesn't feel intuitive, which is my main thing that I found when I got in this morning, because it's my first time in here. And first of all, it's keyless entry, so the ignition barrel is now a button that says start and stop, so that's interesting. The handbrake has gone now, that's up here behind the iPad, but they didn't do anything with the space down here where the handbrake was, so that's just an empty spot now. And I thought maybe they would have extended the bench or something, but no. And yeah, my main gripe is just how, like I said, unintuitive this system is when you're driving and trying to adjust the temperature, the fan speeds, the radio. I don't actually know how to get to the radio. I guess it's that thing in the middle that looks like a home button for an iPad, but it's just mental. I mean, what, climate here, like this is like to sort out your air. Like there's a picture of the whole cab now, and it tells you where the air's coming from, and there's buttons for the AC that don't slide. There's a button there. I don't know how any of this works, so it's confusing. You press that again to go home, and now there's a picture of the van. I don't know if that's useful, but it's just a little bit, I don't get why it went this way, because I'm a very analog guy, and obviously the world is moving in this direction where everything's digitized and touchy, and maybe getting to a point where we don't drive at all. So this is a first step there. But yeah, just how like the volume adjustment is a touchpad here, and even the heat adjustments on both sides, I guess that means left and right can be separated, which is great. But when you're driving, you can't feel for it, and I think it's more distracting than ever in a world where we're surrounded by cameras that are making sure your belt's on and making sure you're not on your phone and all these other things. I just think having essentially an entertainment system is mental, and yeah, very distracting. But you can see, I don't know, I mean, even the revometer, the speedometer and all this stuff here, that's a digital screen now, and I guess you could probably change the colours and make that really exciting. But I just think it's mad, and I don't know how reliable or how much longevity there is in these things. But I'm just impressed that even commercial vans have gone in this direction, because back in my day, these kind of vans, they're just going to get smoked in, they're going to get trashed, they're going to have their windows left open, they're going to get moist and dank and damp. I mean, the correct use of dank, actually. Yeah, they're just not going to be the most looked after. Now, this company, whose van this is, they do look after their vans, so it doesn't apply to everything. But mistakes happen, and yeah, it's just mad how much technology and money there are in this. And I'm not sure on the price. I'm going to have a quick Google and try and figure out what the retail is on a van like this. This is an extra long wheelbase Volkswagen Crafter 74 plate. I don't know what the engine size is, but we can pretty much play it by ear and just bang in all the specs, because I think this has the upgraded sound system. Thank you very much. Oh, the turbo's all right. There is a button for hazards. Brilliant. So we found that straight away. But straight away, my mind then just went to, where's the touch button for the hazards? But it's mad. It's kind of training everything you know out of you. Yeah, I don't know. I like clicks. I like knobs. But yeah, it's different. And I just thought a little review of a van like this, for the future reference, more for myself, more for my children, to show them where vehicles were heading at this precipice where we're going to lose the right to drive, I imagine, in the next kind of 10 years. But maybe that won't happen. Because another point I wanted to make is how lovely to drive these things actually are. It's like driving a massive car. It's not like driving vans, where it's nothing like driving the T4. And they were commercial vans, and they got the job done back in the day. My van was for a masonry guy. and a bit of a carpenter, I think, when I bought it. So he was using that on the day-to-day down in Milton Keynes. So they were always reliable and good. Vans have just been useful since day one, of course. But at this point, they are quite luxurious to drive. They've got your AC, they've got great sound systems. They kept all the armrests are still going. So it's just, yeah, I'm impressed of where we've got to. But my question is, where do we go next? Because I used to enjoy, as a child, the design of head units in cars. And remember the old car shops where you'd just be like a whole wall of head units with loads of pairs of speakers, and you could just have a play around listening to Radio 1, or put a CD in it, maybe put a tape in, play with the subs. There'd be subwoofers everywhere, and it was just like such a community and a thing to go and kit your car out. Whereas now, I think the opportunity to personalise your car and do what you want with it is kind of by the by now. What can you do with that apart from maybe hack it, put your own firmware in? But this all talks to the car, so that's probably a bad idea. And maybe change the background colour, or maybe the colour scheme. But apart from that, I think you're trapped into a future of black screens, and that's it. And whatever the car companies decide to put on those screens, that's that. But you won't get any chrome anymore. You're not getting any fancy wooden panelling. You're just not getting that old, just lovely touches that cars used to bring to your life, which is a shame. And I don't think, I mean, where's the next improvement on something like this? I'm not saying it's perfect, but if this becomes the norm, what next? A bigger screen? I mean, we've all seen the Teslas where the entire central column is basically an iPad. So, okay, do you get a slightly shinier screen, or do they swap them out for screens that are slightly more matte effect so they don't get shiny in the sunlight? I don't know. But there's just no element of design there anymore. All they're going to do is start probably sinking this into the dash a little bit more and tidying it up. Because I'm sure it's quite obvious to you that these systems are just plonked on, and they are what they are, and you can throw this in anything. I mean, if you go on eBay, you can find a head unit much like this that just plugs into your left and right sound, runs into your electric to charge your phone, has CarPlay built in, or any of those app reading softwares that most cars have now from like 2016 onwards. And you can just buy those units for 150, 200 quid. You can spend a lot more on them to get like a really good quality one. But beyond that, these are all throw-in equipment that you can just buy, which is, it takes the magic away. When these first came out, we were all massively impressed. I think my first experience of a CarPlay system was in an old Peugeot 308, maybe like a 2012, and plugging your phone in via the USB, and then maps being on the screen in full screen, and all of your things just working. You can read all your messages and that was really impressive. But now it's got to this next level where it's got all your diagnostics for your vehicle. I don't know what all this is. It's got incognito mode, it's got a web browser. I don't know at what point you're allowed to use that legally. You just got to be stopped, and I think you can tether your phone to it. You can use the van as a hotspot. It's all just got a bit mad. But yeah, this is just a quick little review of where we're at. Because obviously I've just bought that Skoda Fabia for the main reason that I could work on it and I could fix it. And if anything goes awry, I've probably got a vague idea on how to sort it. But it does have an ECU, so you know, there's going to be things that I can't control, and that's fine. But I just think it's nuts how even the handbrake just isn't a manual thing anymore. So you're placing all of your trust in electronics, and everything has to work in order for emergency stops to work. Like, how do you emergency stop with a handbrake that's a button that's doing all this auto braking, auto lane assist, all these other things? What is the element of emergency stopping going to even be a part of the driving test going forward? I doubt it, because you just don't have the feel for it. So yeah, just things like that. I'm just literally rattling on. I have no plan on what I was going to say about all this. But what's your experience in modern vehicles? Have you moved on into this world? Did you go down the EV route? I understand why people do, for tax reasons. But apart from that, I'm not too sure. I mean, benefit in kind as well. Yeah, tax reasons is the only reason the EV market really took off. It is now roasting in this van, and there we go. That's getting colder. Come on, come on. But yeah, like, where are you at? Did you keep it analog? Did you keep it simple, or did you go tech? And has it been good to you? Has it done you over? Has it been reliable? Would you go back? Do you want to go back? I mean, when's the last time you even drove like a manual, say? Because they seem to be a thing of the past now, especially with these electrics. They don't have controlled gearing systems like normal. So yeah, let me know where you're at. I'm done. That's the chat for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, this one's more of a conversation piece. Get in the comments and we'll have a chat about what the hell's going on here with vehicles in general. I'll just give you a quick nose of this dash setup. There's the iPad. There's a picture of the van, which is brilliant. Here is your key now, which is just madness. Here is your handbrake. Here is the gap for your shoes. USB-C is the future now, so that's all changed, but it is fast charging. Oh, it just conserves its own battery. Look at that. Why? It's weird. But, like I say, it's very comfortable to drive, and it's very, you know, yeah, great as a vehicle. But all this new stuff, I just don't get it. Let me start it up again. So here we go. What's in here? Absolute. Oh, we're in the radio. That's good. So that's a standalone app, is it? Okay. So there's radio. Going back to the apps, I guess. Vehicle status reports. Lane assist unavailable. Wonder why. Automatic stop. Things here. Electronic brake system. Look, there's so much to it. More apps. Telephone. App Connect. Parking. Tips and help. Sound. Legal info. Aircon. Does it tell you how? Look at that. So does this show you where it's coming from? I don't know. How bizarre. Oh right, max defrost mode. Nice. So yeah, it's all just a bit mental. There's also an auto hold for your kind of hill start assist, I think they used to call that. Incognito mode, is that for the privacy settings for your van? Crazy. So yeah, that's where we're at now. Oh, that's hot. Go away. Woo-wee. Cold, 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 cold. Tap, 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 tap. Volume's a tappy thing. I don't know. Settings. Up and down. Yeah, so off. Power. That doesn't do anything. So you can't turn it off, that's a problem. But yeah, isn't it mad? And all this. So we'll start it. Oh no, it's turned it off. So how does it turn on? Please switch the ignition on. There you hold the button down to start it. There's the rev counter. It's all digital. Mental. So yeah, it's certainly different. Let me turn that off. I don't know how to turn the fans down. This is the problem. Where would you go here to turn the fans down? Into climber. Oh Christ. So there. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit much for my old brain, but kids, this is what you've got to play with for the next few years. How exciting for you. Enjoy.